come to my awareness that a limiting belief that guys have is that when they're out cold approaching, that the women can just tell that they are anxious or that the guys are anxious. I want you to just understand essentially two things. The first one, though, is that when you're out cold approaching and you're meeting brand new people, you are in fact a complete clean slate. You know, no one knows your backstory, no one knows your history, no one knows your traumas or experiences or lack of experiences. You are a complete blank canvas when you're meeting people. And so it's then really important on how you portray yourself to these new people, because it will be that first impression that will make all the difference of them being attracted to you or not. So however much of a hardship you've had or however much social anxiety you've got, when you can control those symptoms or how you even feel about yourself, and you can start to portray confidence, however small that is, you will find that people will treat you differently outside of your normal social circle. But another thing to also consider, they will feel what you're feeling. So I use the example a lot when I'm kind of working with guys, and I'll say, like, whenever in the past I've had a bad day and then I'm around my mum, it's like she always somehow knows like something is up. Like I don't even have to say anything, and she'll then turn to me and say, like, Daniel, what's the matter? What's going on? I'll be like, no, nothing's wrong. She'll be like, no, I can tell something's wrong. And then eventually I'll just kind of like spill the beans and say. And I do believe that women just genuinely have that sixth sense, that they can feel the feelings that you've got, which, you know, is why I like guys to be incredibly honest if they are feeling anxious. There is nothing wrong with admitting that to the girls, but it's how you admit it. So if you're saying, look, I'm really shy right now, with like a smile on your face, as I've just naturally done it like that, then she'll see that as sincerity. She'll kind of get it, and she'll be like, okay, you're doing something that isn't really the ordinary for any other guys, and I respect the ballsiness of you coming forward to speak to me and give me a compliment. So yeah, I will give you the time of day. And okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that every girl or every woman's going to give you the time of day, but the ones who resonate with you, who like your vibe and that little bit of confidence that's shining through for trying, you'll find that those ones will be the ones who will be interested in hear you out. So don't worry about, are these women going to know your history or lack of history or experience with meeting or dating women? They aren't going to feel that. What's important, though, is that you work on your vibe, you work on that confidence and how you portray yourself, and everything else won't really matter. By going out and practicing your cold approaching skills and just socializing and speaking to strangers, you are working on that muscle. You are building your confidence, and eventually that will shine through. But this is why it's so important that you need exposure therapy. You need to be putting yourself into social situations as often as you possibly can. And sadly, if you are someone who doesn't have any social experience, then you need to do it even more so than anyone else. Kind of reminds me of the old saying about the early bird catches the worm. It's about the concept of if you want to get as good as anyone else, then you've got to put in more effort with whatever it is that you want to play catch up on. You'll find all of these little things about, like, is she going to know that I don't have much of a dating life? Is she going to know that I'm not very confident and stuff? You'll find none of that will really matter, because you're replacing it with a completely new version of you. And that's what really matters. And that is what she's going to be seeing and feeling in that moment when you're speaking to her. And why also those first few approaches that you do really do not matter, because at the end of the day, if you, let's say, spoke to 100 women, you weren't very confident with them, they didn't go anywhere, so what? But then after that, if suddenly you're now having really good conversations and you are meeting people who, are genuinely attracted to you, then that's what you've got to look forward to. Don't worry about all these things that you're feeling and thinking about now in regards to, is she going to know my history? The important thing, as I'll reiterate, is that you just try and portray as much confidence as you can, which I know is easier said than done, but it's practice, and practice makes perfect. The more socializing that you do, the better you will get with speaking to people. And then you'll find that you won't worry about all these little things because you'll be getting more experience anyway. And as long as you are calling out maybe your anxiety in the conversations, if you feel the need to, especially early on, then that is absolutely okay. It is a very sincere thing, and women will love that kind of honesty as well. It won't ruin your situation, you know. So the more practice you get, the better, but you'll be absolutely fine. I can promise you that. That's where I'll end the video. But honestly, guys, you are a complete clean slate when you're going out and meeting new people outside of the ordinary people that you are meeting in your social life. You know, that's one of the beauties of cold approaching in all sorts of situations and environments, that you're meeting people even outside your genetic pool. And by that, like if you're going to either a completely different city or traveling around the world, even, you're meeting people who you would never have met before. To them, you're an attractive guy who's, you know, being confident, rather than someone who might be really anxious and trying to build their confidence up. Just remember that. But until then, look forward to more videos.